person can have that title, and it's Impala. Now, granted, they are in the elimination bracket here, so a little bit interesting, right? Something maybe most people weren't expecting for the next come around here, but Impala showing everybody, hey, even champions are mortal sometimes, but they're certainly going to be trying to push their way into this top 8.
Okay, to be fair, we should probably give a little bit more context to why Impala's in the lower bracket. They made it so far in the top 128, and they lost in Game 5 to Sandstorm.
Yeah, Sandstorm's is one of those guys.
Yeah, he's a good player. He's only played a few times. He's really up and coming, but I mean, look, if there's any reason for Impala to be in the lower bracket, that's probably the best case scenario. But we'll have to wait and see if Impala stays in the lower bracket here. Anonymous Alex not taking a lot of damage early on. Great coverage into the air, preventing Impala to hit the ground, at least up until now. But that bow is surely not finding the impact we had seen at BCX.
All right, but here we go. Anonymous Alex starting to get a little bit of damage back into their favor. Impala is actually going to be very careful here. A stray hit or two could certainly lead to the first stock. But Impala, great mid-range game plan, especially with this bow in hand, right? They are going to be looking for some whiff punishes. They want Alex to commit to something so that Impala can find a great combo to get started here. But, unfortunately, you're dancing around a little too much, and Alex is going to get the starting stock.
Yeah, great starting stock. Anonymous now with the sword. No weapon for Impala. Great dodge read. Great way of starving the weapons, too. And this ledge guard, Impala just completely bypasses it without even a single hit.
Oh, geez, okay.
Oh,
wow, that's not going to take the stock? Okay.
Oh, great down air. A second one to the weapon throw. Anonymous Alex loses that first stock. A great ending there for Impala. Spear still back out. The bow not going to be seen just yet. Now Anonymous Alex is not even going to engage for unarmed up until grabbing the sword. Definitely a big fear factor coming into this, but great neutral game 2 from Impala. A dodge read from Anonymous Alex lets them be the ledge guardier now and not the guardie, but problem is though, Impala's still dancing around. Neither one of these players can get a successful hit up until now.
Yeah. Ooh, okay. Yeah, this is definitely looking a little bit tough here, but Impala looking like they're starting to gain some control. Of course, as soon as I say something, the caster curse coming into full effect. And of course, I say something about the caster curse, and Impala brings it right back into their favor. These players hate me. I don't know what I did to them, but they are playing amazing, and that's all I can ask for.
It's the skiff effect.
You've heard of the butterfly effect? Well, guess what?
Quit skiffing around, you two. Get some stock takedowns here. But no, both of these signatures are missing, and there it is. Impala finally gets one to connect, and Alex goes down. Now, the big question is, we've seen a lot of spear play. Can the bow remain powerful here? And this is great for the ledge guard, not once but twice over. And Anonymous Alex, such a tongue twister there, saying his name, but the sword comes back out, and there it is, another signature connecting, and Impala falls. This is a very close game 1. The stock's almost essentially even.
Yeah, it's definitely looking pretty solid right now. Impala, though, trying to find a way to keep this lead in their favor. And Alex, man, just swinging, trying to find a hit. And that's the problem with the Greatsword. Just like Greatsword, does great damage, can get some stocks very, very early. But the problem is that some of these attacks are so slow. And for a weapon like the spear, they can get a lot of pokes in there before you get one swing out. It's actually just kind of dangerous to mess with.
And all Impala needs now is one great signature. That's the end of game 1. Impala coming away with that final stock of barely any damage applied to them. And looks like, again, just like the previous games, we're not going to be wasting much time. We're going straight into game number 2. I would have liked to have seen maybe a legend adjustment coming out from Anonymous. We didn't really get to see a lot of the full extent of Jaeyoon, but they're still going to keep trying, and I think there's still more that we could see, especially from the regular sword. But going into this next stage, I want to see more coverage from Alex. I think they were being conditioned a lot by Impala, but if Alex can kind of just break free from Impala just being super oppressive over them, Skip, I think we could go to a game 5.
I mean, we're certainly in the early stages of the set, but with the way these two are playing, I absolutely agree with you that we could certainly be going to a game 5 and highly contested the whole way through. So I mean, hey, strap into your seats. We might be in for a ride the whole way. But right now, man, ooh, Alex, he was going for something huge there, pulling the trigger just a little too early, but certainly was letting Impala know, hey man, I can end you at a moment's notice.
Now let's see if the rocket pop can really pop off here. It's Impala back in the neutral game. Anonymous still looking for more of those recoveries. Good to swap weapons, has the sword back out, and this could be a great factor for the KO. Just a matter of timing it perfectly right. Impala's good about messing up those signature timings, and there's one great punish from Impala to the side air. But is that enough? Anonymous is off stage. Oh, what a great punish to the side air! Catches Impala off guard.
Yep, okay, there we go, Impala. Getting some stage control there, and now see, look, Alex went for that swing, trying to catch Impala, but Impala with a nice hezzy before they got and picked up their weapon, but they got the bow in hand. They're going to be looking to make some offense happen here, and they certainly need to, because they are down a stock at the moment. And, you know, dancing around, they're doing pretty solid for the most part, but Alex still finds a way to connect. Oh my goodness.
Oh, this might be a big brain read from Anonymous. Keeping conditioning Impala onto the side of the stage, even overextending, it's going to put Impala in that same position that he was looking for with the great sword. Now, Anonymous Alex just needs to perform the final blow, but no, we'll have to wait a little bit longer. Impala takes down that first stock of Anonymous. The bow is back, though. Want to see the great sword return. Anonymous has been finding a lot more impact with it in the early stocks of this game, but we'll have to wait and see if it's good for the potential of taking down this stock. Oh.
I mean, we'll definitely see, but like, this is going to be a long game too, right? Because right now we see how far behind Impala is. He's got the bow in hand. He knows he doesn't have to make any approaches that he's not comfortable with. He can take his time. You know, he's probably going to get chipped 1 or 2, like we just saw right there. But especially with the sword out, he's going to take his time, making sure his approaches are calculated and safe. He wants to find a way to take this lead back as best as possible. And one mistake, Alex will jump on that, securing a 2-1 lead in game 2.
And you can't blame Anonymous for playing slower with the normal sword either, because a lot of the time with the sword, you're looking for those signature punishes, and Impala's there to not only evade it, but immediately go for a huge string punish of their own, but it's off stage. Anonymous has struggled off stage with the great sword, but Impala's back into the air, and Anonymous resets everything. Well, now back to the off stage. Impala with a down air, catching Anonymous by surprise, another double down dare. Good to take down Anonymous yet again. It's down to the final stocks. Double down dare.
Yeah, you got it.
That's a triple tongue twister.
Triple D. But either way, we're going to be getting into this last stock scenario here. And as we can see, Impala still behind a little bit, but look how closer this game is all of a sudden, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. Anonymous goes back off stage. Impala can't quite find the recovery to punish Anonymous. So instead, they reset yet again to the neutral game.
Oh my goodness.
A good double recovery.
Another one. Can I get a fourth? I'm looking for a fourth one here.
I mean, we had the double down dare. We could, but no. Instead, Impala by surprise, another signature punish. I hate you, Skip. Now the Ed and Eddie theme song stuck in my head.
Yo, that'd be such a good crossover. The Jawbreakers are the orbs? You get Johnny 2x4? You get Johnny 2x4. Listen, with the Jawbreaker orb, and Plank is the sword.
I didn't want to say anything, but the entirety of that last talk, that's all I was thinking about. I was like, yeah, well, what if? What if, right?
Yeah.
But, I mean, what kind of adjustments can we see going into this next game? Because it's the same stage, same exact legends, of course, same players too. But I have to say, I was really impressed with Anonymous Greatsword going into that last game. I think it picked up a lot of the slack that we had seen in game number 1, had a lot of oppression against Impala, and allowed Impala to not find those setups. The issue is, though, is that Anonymous really shines the most on the ledge guard with the greatsword and just kind of throws Impala into this blender of damage. But in any other scenario on this stage, it's really been Impala's game.
Right. And I think the big thing here is for Alex is I want to see him clean up some of these gravity gravity cancel SIGs. Excuse me, I'm all over the place too. I want to see him clean those up a little bit, because there's a few he's gone for that, you know, have been a bit off the mark or kind of close, but he's going a little too early for it, right? And now he's in trouble as he's trying to stay alive here. Does find a way to get back on the stage, has the sword in hand, but yeah, there's a few situations where he could close out these stocks and he's just barely missing.
And there's that signature punish again that Impala was able to capitalize on. Red the red on that first stock here. Oh, but Impala realizes there's no way to recover back. Anonymous, by the skin of their teeth of this first stock, has it in their control. This could easily go back to being an even game. Impala just needs one really good attack to connect against Anonymous. But again, that small it's directly under the platforms where Anonymous is really in that golden zone. And as long as Impala can stay out of that range, this is Impala's game. But again, off stage, Anonymous right in that golden zone, finding the chip damage, getting more and more against Impala. But the recovery comes by, and there's the 2 stock difference.
Yeah, man, definitely some crazy stuff happening here right now. But Impala, again, as we can see, they're a bit behind, right? Nothing super crazy, but this is kind of how the first 2 games went. I believe the first game went like this. The second game 100% went like this. But Impala has no problem and no fear playing at a deficit like this, because it doesn't take much for them to turn it around. As we saw right there, Anonymous barely escaping with their life.
Yeah, and this bow, there has been no response from Anonymous. The Greatsword's having a hard time finding that entry in, pivoting away, playing a much more defensive game. This normal sword, though, should be a benefit here. Anonymous finding that renewed confidence, going for the aggressive plays, but Impala's off stage. This is normally that golden zone for Anonymous to find a lot, but this is not the Greatsword, but instead Anonymous still finds the punish. Deep off stage. No, the turnaround, and no! Anonymous gets punished for it, doesn't have a jump back. All it took was a simple swipe of the bow to turn this game back around again. Now back around to an even game.
I mean, that's the thing. Impala, even playing at a deficit, they're not scared. Like they have a good, steady game plan for their game the entire time. They're not afraid to turn it up a notch. They're not afraid to play defensive, and they can do that on the turn of a dime, right? They are so good at actually controlling so much of the pace of this game, even when they're behind. It's actually insane. And now Alex, fighting for the tournament life here. They've really got to find a way to close out the stock. Maybe we can see one of those gravity cancel SIGs that we've seen him miss about every single time so far, but this could be the one he needs.
Oh, great sword for a great sword. Anonymous knows what weapon is much more preferred to go up against Impala. A bit of a ballet between the two, various hits between both of these players, but again, orange and orange. The normal sword is back, but it tricks out Impala. A great signature to throw them off stage, but again, what's gonna happen here? Impala grabs that spear. The bow has been the mainstay weapon for this series, and now both players seemingly on their off weapons are just not able to capitalize on these last few hits. There was the NSIG coming out from Anonymous, but it wasn't enough.
Dude, Impala is just breaking Alex's ankles on so many of these weapon grabs. Like, Alex is trying to catch him slipping, and Impala just dodges out of the way, still finds a way around him to grab the weapon, as we can see right there, led to the final stock, dude. Impala's movement is impeccable.
Yeah, I mean, it's wild to see Impala's movement. Because, like, on a base level, you're like, well, it's nothing too wild. It's like Kaya, there's a bow. But, like, when you get down to the nitty-gritty and really look at these replays, there was a backdash into a perfect side sig that takes out Anonymous' final stock. And I think so far, really, at least for our block, we've only seen 2 instances where there's been such a huge, again, almost frame perfect read punish coming out from one of these players to end a stock. And Impala was certainly one of them. And consistency on the movement has been their absolute win condition, I mean, since BCX.